Shalom, giving our praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Hachachodash, and double honors to our apostles and elders. Here again, Millstone. Uh, this is just a short, slight correction. I had just did a lesson responding to the Gorilla Hebrew in his response to Great Millstone, and I highlighted a point that he made. But within the video, I had made because he in this video he talked about the year 2000. And when I spoke, I made a comment about the year 2000, but I had misspoke. And I kind of thought to myself in my spirit, I thought like, did I? And as I re-listened to it, I did. So I had went ahead and took the video down, and at the very least, just that one misspoke part, I'm taking it out basically. But nevertheless, while just doing that, I wanted to at least clarify to speak on it, because the whole point of the lesson was to address where Gorilla Hebrew basically said that if people go back into the world because of something that he said, then like the Lord can come back between 9,000 years, then that's not on him, because that means they weren't ordained of Yahweh Shem Yahshai anyway. And in one sense, yes, we understand what he's referring to. And yes, you could say if somebody goes back into the world, and that's not your fault. However, given the history of the account of the Israelites and what the Lord commanded the prophets such as Ezekiel, it can follow you in the sense where the Lord can come and require or judge you. He may not, put you to death or whatever, but he can judge you for the simple fact that you are giving the wrong signal and you're not telling them the truth, because the Lord Israel is a backsliding children. They love to hearken to lies, and they will find any reason to hold on to those lies, and they will want to justify those lies. So they'll actually heap to themselves teachers having itching ears that's going to tell them the things that they want to hear, the lies. And if it's a habit that Israel was always known for, it's putting far off the evil day. It's saying the days that are taught, the days that he's speaking about is for a long time, is prolonged. Meaning there's no sense of urgency to take heed to it now. Ezekiel, you're just speaking to us, but it's not like it matters now. And the Lord didn't like that. He got mad at that. So understanding all of that, what we're saying here is at Great Millstone is that a true prophet of Yahweh Shem Yahshai just simply would not say the things that you said, would not say it could happen between any now and 1,000 years, and that I'm not a prophet of doom. And that it's possible that we won't see that we won't see the Lord in our lifetime, but things could change. That a true prophet of Yahweh Shem Yahshai who has understanding of scriptures just would not say those things, and that's what we're saying. Because Alazar's argument is that technically he's not wrong, because it can happen anytime, because nobody knows the day or the hour. That's his argument. So that's all we're saying, is that a true prophet of Yahweh Shem Yahshai would not say those things, and the true prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahshai are prophets of doom. And with that said, the scriptures talk about false prophets and false teachers in the last days. So we're doing our job to highlight and say, hey, listen, these false prophets and false teachers are making themselves manifest, and this is just more proof, in addition to all the other layers of hypocrisy and heresies that's been coming forth out of certain Israelites. So to deal with the year 2000, right? Because even in that lesson, I spoke about what being you have a responsibility, and a responsibility is to be as very clear and concise with the sheep as much as possible, right? So since, like I said, I misspoke about the year 2000, I'm going to do my part to correct it and to address it. And the apostles and elders have dealt with the year 2000 for quite some time. And I'll even put links in the comments for you to see that it's been addressed, because part of them being responsible is they addressed the year 2000 several times over. And in a nutshell, what they tell you is that it wasn't a doctrine of Elder Apostle Tahar. It was a doctrine of the One West school. That's what was being taught. So when they went out there and taught, they taught the same thing. But they'll tell you when it came close to the time year 2000, they knew that the Lord's not coming back in this time. There's too much prophecy that got to pass. And they even told the men, look, we got to keep teaching because we know this, the Lord isn't coming back. It's too much that has to be fulfilled. And a lot of people left the truth. And when the apostles prayed on it and meditated on it, they came to the conclusion that it was a stumbling block for the Lord to separate those whom he didn't want versus those whom he did want. And we even use scriptures like in the book of Judith, how you can't put a date on the Lord and say, if you don't come in this time, I'm out of here. So the apostles stayed, they taught, they even told those men, you got to keep teaching. And most of them left, but the apostles stayed. So they addressed that. You understand? And let's read a few scriptures. This is the book of John, chapter 6, dealing with Yahushua, verse 26. Yahushua answered them and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perish, but for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him hath Yahweh the Father sealed. So these were the men that came to seek the Lord because they looked as if they were believers, but he basically said, you're just following me because of the miracles and you got full. So Yahushua then just went on to tell them the truth. He didn't spare them the truth. He told them the truth. And this is what it said. Verse 65, verse 64 says, but there are some of you that believe not. For Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not and who should betray him. And he said, therefore said I unto you that no man could come to me except it were given unto him of my Father. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. So Yahushua knew that a lot of them were full of it. And his way of sifting them out was telling the truth. So they followed for a moment, but then they got hit with the truth. They got offended, and then they left. And then you have what he said in Luke 17. And mind you, these are the scriptures that the apostles meditated on and was thinking back because there was a lot of men that left. And they concluded that this was a stumbling block for the Lord to separate all the phonies. And it was a test. Understand? So if anything, the only thing that you could say the one was those men were guilty of, I'm talking about the ones that stayed, like the elders and apostles. The only thing they're guilty of is hastening to come in the day. They just hasten to get out. And I can imagine, back before the year 2000, I believe, what's that, like the beginning of a new millennia, if I'm saying that correctly. A lot of excitement from the world. A lot of people getting all excited. Oh, about their year 2000. Oh, the possibilities are endless and etc. So I can imagine the truth being brought forth, and Jake ready to get the hell out of here. That could be like something that Jake would say, like, oh, we're gonna be out here before then. You know what I'm saying? But it was incorrect, and the apostles acknowledged it because that's part of being responsible, and they dealt with it, and they kept teaching. And I could tell you from my example. Well, first let me read Luke 17. This is what Yahushua said. Luke 17:21. So neither shall they say, lo here, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of Yahweh is within you. And he said unto the disciples, the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it. And that's the scripture the apostles used to believe that that's the fulfillment of the day of the desire to see the Lord, but it didn't come to pass. Okay. So that's us doing our part. That's doing my part to be responsible, right? To clarify that I had made a misspoke about the year 2000 and that it was set up through the Spirit as a stumbling block to separate those whom the Lord did not want. Nevertheless, because the apostles did teach it, they spoke truth, And they spoke that, yes, we did teach that because it was a part of the doctrine of the school when we first came in. But even up until that point, we knew that it wasn't the case. But we still keep teaching, and we're teaching now still, right? That's them doing the responsible thing as a shepherd, as a leader. They're being clear. You know what I mean? So, because constantly people will throw in the year 2000 and say, "Oh, you guys are false prophets because of the year 2000." But we dealt with it. We dealt with it, and we're still going, and we're still teaching. And really, the only thing they're guilty of is hastening the coming of the day. That's it. Okay, and that's the opposite of having the mentality of saying we don't know when we're gonna get out of here. It could be even between now and 1,000 years. That's a completely opposite mentality. So, in the sense, they were in the right spirit, but to try to put a date on that was incorrect, which they acknowledge. So, but that's basically it. And I can say in my experience, look, the brother who brought the truth to me, he later left the truth because he wanted to go back into the world. And I'll admit, I'm young in the spirit, I'm young in the faith. He convinced me his reasoning, and his reasoning was that, oh, the family's already here, man. Don't you see it? Ain't nobody listening. The family's already here. We about to be delivered. The Lord's here. I got excited. Like, yeah, okay, bet. We about to get out of here. Yeah. But I kept teaching. He stopped. I never stopped. But the two brothers that was in the camp at the time, because none of them was around anymore, they rebuked him harshly. And they got upset at me because I didn't really want to say nothing, And they were like, you supposed to say something too. And my attitude was, I said, if that's really how he think, I believe he gonna snap out of it. So let's give him a minute, like to think. He probably just having a little pride moment right now. And we had a short falling out before because of it. And what I told them was, I said, I think the man is smarter than that. I said, I'm just gonna give him a minute to really think, because I don't really believe that he thinks that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is before he actually like told me like I'm done teaching. He didn't say that. He just said the family of the word is here or whatever. But he just didn't show up to camp. And when the brothers inquired, he said, I'm done. And that's why I'm like, I don't know about that. So they was quick to jump on, curse him out, and etc. And I waited, and I was speaking to him, and then we kept teaching. We was edifying brothers, and I sent them the videos, and I said, do you still think the family's here? We still teaching. There's still people listening. Do you think the elect's already sealed? We still got people listening. And he said, well, I just don't think that's what I want to do anymore, or that he wants that he should do anymore. And then that right there, that's when I confirmed, oh, see, now you just proud, and he wanted to go back into the world anyway to do music. He said it. So then that's when I told him, look, you're going off, and that you wasting time, and this is a mistake. So in so many words. So that's when he got it, and I told him that. And guess what? He never came back. And then there was another brother in the camp who had that mentality as well of the days are prolonged, because what happened was he got a newborn, and he had a slip. He spoke. He was like, yeah. When my son turns 16, this is gonna be his first car. And we caught that because we were like, well, wait a minute, 16. He was like, look, what? So that right there is the attitude of, oh, he must want to stay here and be prolonged. And then sure enough, later he left the truth because of that. He wanted to be a family man over his woman. So he left the truth. So that right there was just a sign that really he wanted to go back into the world. You understand? So we've seen it. So when you start talking like that, because of our experience, we're going to say, whoa, whoa, like what kind of spirit are you in? You in the wrong spirit. And that's the message that we're simply relaying. That's the wrong spirit to push out. Given the evidence of Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter and 33, we are supposed to speak the truth, whether they hear or forbear, so that the blood is off our hands. You understand? And that a true prophet of Yahweh Shem Yahshua just simply would not say the things you said. So with that, I say shalom.